The NFL season comes to an end on Sunday for the Arizona Cardinals against the Los Angeles Rams, but is it all coming to an end on Sunday for this iteration of the Cards, Johnny Venerable?
Is this Drew Petzing's last game? Likely, but what about head coach Jonathan Gannon? Could the results of NFL Week 18 sway leadership with a firing on Black Monday? PHNX Cardinals starts now. Welcome in, live from Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. It's the PHNX Cardinals podcast, your premier, #1 in the world, Arizona Cardinal podcast. Like and subscribe, friends. Leave us a 5-star wherever you get your programming. I'm Johnny Venerable. Let's do that one more time here. Live from Studio K here on a football Friday. Sorry, had to get that in, fellas. Excuse me.
Well, I mean, it is, as you mentioned, the final game of the season. Got to drop live from Circle K. I appreciate it. I know those in the chat: Steven Jackson, Owen, Deb, Ken Weber, Fuddle, Jacob, Jack, Mr. Cardinal, Evan, the entire squad, Michael Evans, Brian Pete, New Jersey Cardinal, Mike D, Schaff, the entire gang here. Happy New Year. And yes, welcome into the show. It's brought to you by our friends over at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app today. When you use the code PHNX365, you deposit $10. All you have to do is bet $5. You can get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. How about that? Welcome to the show, though.
Welcome, friends. New year, same Johnny and Bo. Same problems from 2 days ago, and same reality on tap for the Arizona Cardinals following Week 18. We're not going to preview the game today. Full transparency. I think yep, we're not going to break down the 8.5-point spread with our friends.
What do I do with all these notes I made on the game?
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm excited to watch, the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah,
get out of here.
Throw that away. Throw in the dumpster. We're going to talk about what everybody wants to talk about. So let's turn the clocks back a couple of days ago. So we talked about it, reported on this show. Jonathan Gannon's likely to stay. The changes that are abrupt and imminent, whether the Cardinals choose to announce them or not, they're going to part ways with Drew Petzing and Jeff Rodgers. That is my belief. That is Bo's belief. And we put out a video on demand. When was that? 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. And people are upset. And then we dropped the Kelvin Beachum interview yesterday. People are upset. So we'd be naive if we ignored the voices, because I think what people are fearful of, and listen, I would be fearful of this as well as a consumer of content and Cardinals, paraphernalia, whatever you want to call it. When you allow yourself to have an acceptance period for something that deep down is incorrect, as Cardinal fans feel about this situation with their head coach, they don't want to accept the reality of what potentially is going to go down on Monday with Jonathan Gannon being retained. And I don't push back on anybody for that. But just know where Bo and I are coming from is not from a place of, and I feel like we've said this many times, but we'll repeat it now, coming from a place, Bo, where it's like, we're not telling you what we would do. We're telling you what we believe is going to transpire. And there are just too many clues to ignore here.
Absolutely. I mean, you have Jonathan Gannon in his press conference on Monday, very confident he's coming back, doubled down on those comments on the flagship radio show station shortly after that. And then, this is on the heels of Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport, who are not necessarily guys that, are getting into the thick of rumors and speculation, more so inside info. So there seems to be an alignment with what JG believes to be true and what the Arizona Cardinals and their decision makers are going to do. Now, this is because Cardinals fans are passionate, and they've been going through it already, what they thought was going to be the end of a 3-year rebuild that came off of just a disastrous 2022 season that ended up in the firing of Cliff Kingsbury and the unceremonious resignation of GM Steve Keim. And they thought, hey, we've got some guys coming in outside the organization. We think they're going to breathe new life into this team. And that seemed to be the case for the first 2 seasons. And then came this 3rd season with expectations, and the wheels just all fell off. So with all that, the Cardinals fans thought this was going to be it. And it couldn't be further from the truth. They had something kind of taken from them. So you're seeing Cardinals fans, and I'm not being hyperbolic here, go through like the 5 stages of grief right now. Right. They're in mourning of this. They believed JG was going to be the guy, and now they feel completely opposite of that. So now they're going to be, as far as what's being reported, what's likely to happen, they're in denial of that. And then what's next? Anger. Anger comes next. Then they'll start to kind of bargain like, okay, well, if it's JG with the new OC, new special teams, or maybe we could do this. Maybe they could bring Kyler back. It's like, no, looks like the future of the Cardinals is going to be Gannon, some new coaches on his staff. The team will probably inevitably move off of Kyler Murray. And then that's where the depression, that's where, it's going to be most of the offseason. Then you're going to have to come to terms with this, and then the acceptance happens.
And I think if I'm a Cardinal fan, here's what bothers me the most is that you've endured the culmination on Sunday will have been the worst season statistically in league history for this team. 14 losses. Somebody's throwing at me statistics from the 40s. Sorry, I don't have my roll back 80 years to the 1940s where they started 0-10. Modern Cardinal football, hell, Arizona Cardinal football, this will be the worst season of all time.
Yeah.
With the loss on Sunday, they'll have lost 14 or 15 games. That's as bad as it gets. So when you have a fan base where you're just connecting the dots and you're like, well, 14 losses, you're fired in year 3 of a rebuild. That's the NFL, right? Like you would have had you polled this show in August and said, regardless of how you feel about JG, Johnny, and Bo, like if they lose 14 games this year, what happens to Jonathan Gannon? You and I would have probably been overwhelmingly like, yeah, he has to go, right? I don't think you and I would have pushed back on, unless, like, God forbid, there was some historic tragedy or something like that. We'd need the circumstances, but and so now you look at the scope of it. We're enduring this kind of season. Cardinal fans are in the thick of it now, and you've got people within the national landscape telling Cardinal fans that they're wrong to feel this way, directly or indirectly. And that is insulting. That's incredibly insulting. For people to come out, whether it's because the team is feeding them information, data, statistics, which we know is true, or just because they have an affiliation with this regime, to come out and say, like, well, you can't get rid of Gannon after year 3. Look at the resources. It wasn't his quarterback. Like, those are excuses that no other franchise would tolerate. Like, this franchise is on the precipice of doing something. I've said this all week, and I'm going to say it on Monday. I'm going to say it on Sunday. This doesn't happen in the NFL. You don't lose 14 games in year 3, and you get to keep your job. And so when national people talk about how many players you got on IR, guess what the Cardinals did today? They juiced the numbers a little bit. And I'm sure there's other reasons they did this. They put Marv on injured reserve. Hey, Chris Olave is not going to play this weekend for the Saints. They're not making the playoffs either. Did the Saints put Chris Olave on injured reserve? No, they just say he's out this week. He's not playing. He's got a blood clot. I hope he's okay. But it's like Marv's got to heal. You can just be like, he's out this week. But they put him on IR. Maybe there's something with the practice squad, maybe not. But it's like when Cardinal fans see through that, there's a narrative there that the Cardinals are desperately trying to craft, and people are over that. And I understand the frustration. And we posted a clip of Kelvin Beachum talking about it, gave him an opportunity, to speak his piece. But like at the end of the day, Cardinal fans have every right to be upset. This is unprecedented. I told Leo Merrill, head of content earlier today, who went through it with the Coyotes when they were here in the thick of it and inevitably, unfortunately, left. That period of time and I got to know the Coyotes because I moved here. I didn't know
Mhm.
about the state of the situation with the owner and everything else. The anger that Coyote fans had for the regime trumped a lot of stuff. And unfortunately, I'm seeing parallels right now with Cardinal fans, rightfully so, where it's just like my anger is with the team that I love and the people who are running it. And
Mhm.
that Cardinals, that's just not a good place to be. You don't need me to tell you that.
No, it's a horrible place to be, and it's just like the people that you're aligned with are your fellow fan,
Mhm.
and anything that the fan base in unison is asking or requesting for is being dismissed by the team.
Yeah.
And the powers that be are going to say, this is what we deem as the best path forward, where everybody says, well, it's red flags all over the place. I mean,
Right.
not only are they losing, they're losing at a historic pace. This is the most in franchise history, in a franchise that is not exactly known for winning. Just what, 11 winning seasons in 105 years. I mean,
Yeah.
that's an insane statistic.
Yeah.
To say, hey, you bottomed out for an organization that holds those type of numbers. I mean, it's pretty astounding, right? And then you see like the defensive metrics. You see just the offensive ineptitude, what happened with the quarterback. You've lost all trust of this organization, right? So, like anything that you're going to do as you do throughout the offseason is going to really kind of be muted and toned down by the reluctance for this fan base to wrap their arms around this team because they don't trust it to a degree because they're trying to they've tried for months to lay this groundwork of excuse making that nobody accepts. Even like the most, diehard fanatical Cardinals fan that will love this team unconditionally, like all of us, is not going to say, the no handpicked quarterback, the young roster, and it's just a process year and the injuries. Nobody's going to accept that as for bottoming out this season, for going on what's going to be a 9-game losing skid to end the season on the heels of a 5-game losing skid before that, for winning 2 games and then basically just checking out in the win column for 2025.
Also, let's just throw some dirt on the Kyler Murray handpicked situation.
Yeah.
We've talked to Jonathan Gannon on air multiple times, and he's directly or indirectly said, yeah, I'm tied to Kyler Murray. His success is my success and vice versa. And he was saying that in the most complimentary way. And okay, well, we've had 3 years. It didn't work out. The record is what it is. Kyler Murray's going to be shipped out of town. And so, but you get a mulligan for that? I'm not sure about that. I also don't think you're going to have the Dolphins potentially pull a Russell Wilson with the Broncos and just eat dead money and move on. If you were anti Kyler Murray, could have done that after the 2023 season or the 2024 season, but they believed in Kyler Murray. They wanted it to work. Fair or not, and this business is far from fair. You've gone with Kyler Murray for 3 seasons as your quarterback. It hasn't worked out. You are now losing at a historic pace.
Mm-hmm.
And you chose to bring in Jacoby Brissett. You opted not to take a quarterback in the first 2 or 3 rounds of the last 3 drafts that you had. You didn't think about the future. I mean, you kind of went all in with Kyler Murray, and it didn't work out. And that it was commendable. I would have done the same thing. But the mulligan right now that's happening is a lot of people just call it what it is. It's a little bit gross. I mean, I've seen Jacoby Brissett play well enough for this team to win. And guess what? The defense has been atrocious in the 4th quarter. I've seen Jacoby Brissett and Kyler Murray make big-time throws. Kyler Murray earlier this season to Zay Jones, he dropped it. Quarterback play has been inconsistent, but it hasn't been Raider or Giant level bad. It hasn't been as bad as, what we saw from Cam Ward earlier this season, or certainly the Saints with Spencer Rattler. I mean, to sit here and be well, quarterback mulligan. No, you guys should have won minimum 6-7 games this year, minimum.
Yeah.
And you've imploded to the point where people just laugh at this franchise now, and they're okay with it.
They're okay with it. Yeah. I mean, look, patience was key when this thing started, when they turned over, they hit detonate on the previous regime and they brought in the new one and they said, we're going to tear this thing down to the studs and we're going to rebuild it.
Right.
And we're going to lay the foundation and it's going to, pretty much produce consistent success for this team that has lacked it in its entire, ever since the inception of pro football, really. I mean, it's the one of the oldest franchises in the most losing franchise. And despite practice or patience being kind of the thing that needs to be preached in practice, the most point, when you see a regression like this, patience is like turned into just permission. Like you're permitting them to underachieve as poorly as much as they did this season. Like they're just saying you're allowed to be this bad, and then we're just going to take our ball. We're going to go home for the 2025 season, and then we're going to restart things in the offseason. It's just like that's not a recipe for success. It's just not. And to get buy-in from the fan base, it's virtually impossible going about it that way.
Yeah, they have no redeeming qualities. They were 0 for 7. At one point this year in one-score games. I think that's gone up for 0 for 8. They've got 5 wins against teams above 500 in this tenure, and they haven't had any since midseason last year. I mean, it really is a tale of two halves for Jonathan Gannon. It was the first half, which was the 2023 season, and the first half of 2024, when he had ultimate buy-in from this fan base, and the Cardinals were clearly headed in the right direction. What happened at the midpoint of last year? Fair or not, you haven't won enough. You've lost 18 of 23 games. It's not because of injured players. That plays a part in it, but that can't be the reason. Like, you guys field a roster every week. If you're telling us that it's too injured to compete, then just forfeit then. Why should people care? Why promote the games? I think it's an insult to the players that you have out there. Like Jordan Birch is a third rounder. Why is he dropping into coverage? Like, that's a stupid decision. Why is Denzel Burke tackling high on an offensive lineman? Why is he allowed to complete that pass? Like, okay, it infuriates you because it makes you guys look small time when you're just sitting there and you're pushing injuries as a narrative. That's why I said on Tuesday or whenever that was, and I doubt they do it now, but like, if you want to bring back Jonathan Gannon, then you guys should have to make a statement and own it, or sit next to him and talk about reignite this fan base, or try to, with the vision that you have. But to hide behind Rap Sheet's comments and to put Gannon up there Monday after a 14th loss to answer some questions and to pivot and to deflect, and then we go into the offseason Monday night, Tuesday morning, that is about as difficult of a sell as I've ever seen for an NFL franchise. That is going to be impossible to swallow. And again, we started the show by asking, like, is there a way for Michael Bidwill to be swayed depending on week 18? Bo, I think I know what your answer is.
No, I mean, if he isn't going to be swayed up into this point, what's it going to take? I don't say, hey, call off the dogs. I don't think you should just, respond how you want, right? And I think that's really going to be this public outcry and outrage, as it gets louder and louder. I don't know if it can get, it's at a deafening level. Like I said, you can't even do an interview with the Walter Payton Man of the Year without people thinking you're in line and in business with the Cardinals and trying to like force feed some sort of false narrative. I mean, nothing I don't think can change as far as the results on the field, but just as far as the continued just onslaught of people voicing their displeasure with this, and the organization understanding that this is an unprecedented level of just dismay from the fan base. Like, how are they going to sell to new season ticket holders? How are they going to retain season ticket holders? How are they going to not be bogged down on every social post about every free agent or draft pick addition this offseason without disgruntled Cardinals fans out there? Like, I think it's at an all-time high level. It's really unfortunate. We've gone over the reasons why we believe that, but that's just the reality of what this move would trigger.
I want to come back around the break. I want to talk to Bo more about if Michael Bidwill could be swayed, and I want to talk to him about Jonathan Gannon's press conference that happened earlier today and what Sunday, Monday could look like. That's coming up. Hit that like button. It's PHNX. Tough to navigate week 18 of the 2025 NFL season. Where do you dabble on the betting scene? Well, first and foremost, trust us here at PHNX Bets, PHNX Cardinals, and our friends at Bet365. never ordinary. Again, you may think, are we throttling down? No, the party's only just begun. With Bet365, see for yourself with the same game parlay Sunday offer. Place qualifying bets totaling $20 or more on Sunday's NFL games, and you're getting up to $25 in bonus bets. And again, new customers get $150 in bonus bets. Again, with just a $10 deposit, $5 bet, and you're flush with bonus bets you can use on props, futures, money lines, over, under. I'm going to tell you what I like. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. I don't like the Cardinal money line, and I like a robust LA Rams to continue to take care of business. That feels like free money with our friends at Bet365. Speaking of money, again, $150 in bonus bets right now with a $5 bet, win or lose. That means you can dabble with my parlay that's dropping this weekend and still come out a winner. Use the bonus code PHNX365. Deposit 10, place a bet for 5, and get $150 in bonus bets. You got to be 21 years and older, physically located here in the great state of Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Text NEXT STEP to 53342 or visit problemgambling.az.gov, Bo, for more info.
The holidays, they're fun, right? But they can take a toll. They can get expensive real quick between driving all over the place, hosting, grabbing groceries, and filling up the tank again and again. It adds up. That's why I personally use Upside. The app, honestly, it's a no-brainer. It's like free money. You have to buy gas anyways. If you're already grabbing food and making grocery runs, Upside just gives you the ability to get some cash back on stuff you're doing anyways. There's over 100,000 gas stations, restaurants, grocery stores on the app. So before you fill up or head out, check out Upside. Claim an offer, pay like normal, and that's it. No points, no weird rewards, just actual cash that goes straight to your bank account with our friends over at Upside. People earn way more with Upside than traditional rewards. Upside's giving back $1 billion. That's billion with a B to its users. Find out how much you can earn. Download the free Upside app and use the promo code PHNX to earn an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's an extra 25 cents back for every gallon of your first tank of gas by using the Upside app in the promo code PHNX.
Hit that like button, subscribe to PHNX Sports. Get us to 50K. We're almost there. Be the 50,000 subscriber here on PHNX Sports. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think there's any way that Sunday's product, barring like more linemen catching passes, although that didn't seem to bother the Cardinals last week, that, the product on the field, I take that back. I mean, like, if the Cardinals lose to a Rams team that was just humbled by Raheem Morris and who's trying to save his job admirably, if the Cardinals are beaten by the Rams like 50-0, I think that doesn't help him. Now, 30-12 or something like that, you can spin a lot of different things, but like, we've seen the Cardinals be non-competitive for 4 quarters, especially on defense. We also know that the Rams, when they came to State Farm Stadium, they absolutely embarrassed the Cardinals. McVay didn't even call plays that game. He gave it to the other guys.
No, he did.
No. I saw today the other coach called plays that day. It wasn't McVay. What's his name?
No. They let him relay them in.
Oh, I thought
McVay was sick. I think he was giving the plays to LaFleur to put in.
We'll have to come back to that.
Okay. That's the way I read it, because that came out, I think, the day or two after the game, and McVay was sick, and I'm pretty sure he was still calling the game. He just wasn't, like, giving the plays to Stafford.
Okay. We'll have to check on that. But I believe you. Well, regardless, they destroyed the Cardinals. They went up and down the field.
5 straight drives.
Right. 5 straight drives. We'll see. We always think as we do the show before the game and after the game, like it can never get worse. And then it somehow always gets worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Bengals pulling starters in the third quarter, it always got worse. I'm with you wholeheartedly on the sustain. Does Michael Bidwill wake up Monday morning or come to a conclusion Sunday night that as much as he loves Jonathan Gannon, that this is not sustainable with his fans? That this is not sustainable with this community. That's what he's going to have. Because I honestly think, like, if Michael Bidwill could keep Jonathan Gannon employed, but just get somebody else to maybe coach the team for the optics standpoint, maybe he'd consider doing that. That's how much he likes Jonathan Gannon, but that would be counterintuitive. I think it's like we're coming at an impasse here, and this is going to be the first major decision for Michael Bidwill post the passing of his late father, who owned and operated the team for so long, who there was a lot of let's just call them differences between Bill Bidwill and Cardinal fans, dating back to when the team was in St. Louis and firing Don Coryell, locking him out of the building. And, there's been issues with Jackie Smith, not putting him up in the Ring of Honor. Like, Michael Bidwill has managed to avoid a lot of that, from a football standpoint. Hasn't been perfect. Obviously, he had, the issues that were documented by The Athletic. But from a football operation standpoint, like, people were clamoring for Steve Wilkes to be fired. He was fired. Clamoring for Keim eventually to be fired. He was fired. Cliff fired. This really feels like the first impasse with Cardinal fans and Michael Bidwill, where it could further change the perception of ownership, and not in a great way.
Can't find anything in the NFL that kind of resembles it, right? I mean, we have the coaches that went through 3 seasons and had sub 500 records, and if they got a fourth, how long or how little they kind of got to stick around in their 4th season. It's just, I do think that there is a chance for cold feet on this moving forward, but I don't think it's nearly as, I don't think it's like a coin flip. I don't think it's 50-50.
No, I would say like 75-25 would be my guess.
Probably right where I'm at as well. I mean, 80-20, 75-25 just feels like they've had those conversations. The organization, the decision makers, Bidwill, Ossenfort, I don't know if he's included in it, have been pretty steadfast with their assurance that they're going to chalk this up. And, I think that with, if they did pivot, it would be an admission of defeat. It would be an admission of failed rebuild and investing in somebody that they had a lot of belief in that couldn't get the job done. And then, like, that would, I don't think it discounts. I don't think this season discounts what Gannon was able to do in the first 2 seasons. Right?
I don't either.
And I think that there's a lot of where him getting to a 4th season stems from those first 2 seasons. And I think Bidwill and Ossenfort want to get back on that trajectory. It's just when you suffer the type of 2025 season that they have, it almost disqualifies you from getting to that point. And for the most part, the majority of the NFL, especially post salary cap, like that, you have that type of record. Those results, like, belief is great, but like results are way better.
Do you believe that the Cardinals think that the public outcry for JG to be fired is less than it appears to be? Certainly online. Do you get that sense, or do you feel like they understand the issue that this would cause within the fan base? Or is that impossible to answer?
No, they have to hear it. They have to see it. I mean, it's everywhere. I haven't seen it. Like, even when people were fed up with Cliff, even when people were fed up with, Wilkes was only 1 season. At the end of the Wiz and Hunt tenure, like, when people were just at, their breaking point, you find it, and there's now so many different social media outlets and stuff like that the Cardinals have, and you just look at the replies, and it's just, that's all this is. And I don't think you can try to fade the noise as much as you can, but I don't think you can drown it out. It just has to come from, they have a sense of conviction in Gannon, and they're going to see it forward. And I just don't think anything is going to sway them. They're going to try to dig in.
And Cardinal fans can look at that one of 2 ways: that what you just said is correct, and that Cardinal fans feel like, rightfully so, they know better, because we have 100+ year of NFL history that tells you that it's not going to improve, right? And it's not going to get better. And it's not just players, right? Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, Mike Vrabel say otherwise with teams that have not won recently. They've turned around franchises in a year. Cardinal fans are like, I don't want to waste 2026 when this is correctable potentially now.
Yeah.
That's the first half. The second half is that they don't believe Michael Bidwill. And the mindset is you are doing this purely from a standpoint where you do not want to fire a coach after you're paying multiple others. And you do not want to have to pay another coach, as you said, because it's an admission of guilt. And we want to be able to ride this out a little bit longer. And that's even worse than like both of those options are bad, but that's the worst of the two options. My question would be for Michael Bidwill, is this decision worth, and I don't think this is me being dramatic, like the potential for losing fans that you may not get back,
right?
At least in the intermediate. Is this decision worth being able to keep Jonathan Gannon until next Halloween, where you're going to lose season ticket holders, you're going to lose people's buy-in? I can't imagine, and maybe I'm naive. I don't have the books. I don't know the ticket revenue. I don't know the merchandise sales. I can't imagine that would be worth it. It's a dangerous game to call people's bluff when it comes to their fandom in this day and age, in this economy right now, where people are struggling to pay bills and people are struggling to buy groceries, and people are being displaced from their job because of AI and other reasons. And it's just like, and the outlet that's supposed to bring me joy, that I spend my hard-earned money in to invest in, is actively telling me that I am in the wrong for thinking a coach that has lost 14 games is not worth keeping around. That's a very dangerous precedent to set. And if you don't feel that, I mean, it's a pretty low point for a fandom to have to be able to accept.
Right. I mean, there were far more Sundays this year that robbed you of joy than brought you joy. Right. There wasn't a whole lot that you could just kind of say, hey, that was cool to see, like Kyler Murray in that play he made, or Marvin Harrison Jr. It's just like, no, it was just like after week 2, and even like the first 2 weeks, they were frustrating wins. Even when they were winning football games, it didn't look like wins. So it's a damn near impossible task for them to get this. In a lot of ways, and it's admirable to want to conduct yourself as a franchise this way, not to be a revolving door as far as leadership, as far as coaches and the staff, and roster turnover. Like we see that, it's the usual suspects in the league every year. It's the New York Jets, the Cleveland Browns. It's those organizations that this happens. It's just. You can just chalk it up. Just know that 1 to 2 to 3 years, they're going to be in for a new coach. They're going to be in for a new quarterback. That's what they are. And it's very admirable to want that. But once you get to this point, you can't let it be detrimental to the future success of this team. And that's what this fan base is viewing it as. It's like they saw so many non-competitive performances. They don't feel like there is some even footing that they can find as the fan base and the coaching staff to where they can kind of recontract this thing. Like they feel like they saw a non-negotiable in the 2025 season. There's no way like they feel like you can get back. And the delayed gratification of this entire thing, the entirety of an offseason before you can even get to the 2026 slate and start plugging away and trying to win people back, to your point, it just seems like a damn near impossible request.
And here's what I'm going to tell you right now, something I don't buy that I see is floated out there. And this is, I don't think the Cardinals operate this way. I hope they don't. But like to think that, well, if you fire Jonathan Gannon, who's going to want this job? Come on. Like they got Jonathan Gannon to take this job. He was a hot commodity. The situation was way worse. I mean, there's 32 of these jobs. You get to live in, one of the most beautiful places in continental United States.
That's like a bummer about Gannon. Gannon wants
to stay here. He doesn't want to leave.
Even though the Valley isn't loving him, showing him that much love right now. He wants to be here. He wanted to be the guy to turn this franchise around, continues to want to be this guy. Like when people take it as arrogance, he's trying to remain confident in himself. So it's just because if he's going in this season, he says, I suck as a coach. He's going to suck as a coach. So, I mean,
we just saw Bruce Arians win here. I know it feels like forever ago. Like, they keep getting people to take the Jets money. Kevin Stefanski keeps showing up to work. It's, listen, is the Cardinals job a top tier job at the moment? hell no, it is not. But to think like, hey, if we interview a bunch of people and they're going to say no,
Right.
I think the optics of that are not great. I think if you want to have a conversation of like, is that why you keep Monti Ossenfort to kind of, you have an extension of a guy who people respect around the league? Like, I'll buy that, even though Monty's not, from a personnel standpoint, not my favorite person right now. Like, there are ways to massage that. But like, pretend you're a first-class operation. Go out there and say, like, you're our next coach. You're going to be on the front line of this new facility we're building in, North Phoenix, and it's going to be $100+ million, state of the art. And we got 27 draft picks, and they haven't hit their ceiling. Come and elevate them. I mean, like, I don't buy that for a second. I probably venture to guess the Cardinals don't operate that way either. It is more from a standpoint of either not wanting to pay out a coach, not wanting to admit that they're wrong, or wanting to just keep things as little disruption as possible. I would imagine that Michael Bidwill, Monti Ossenfort, Jonathan Gannon, the scouts, the executive, they all get along great, and it's hard to disrupt that. But man, like when you're watching this product every Sunday, even if Bo is coaching this team, brother, I love you. You got to go. I couldn't do the job with you Monday through Saturday if that was the product that you're putting out there, because everything else in a weird way is moot. It's secondhand. I don't want to say it doesn't matter because there are so many good people that work for the Cardinals, but like teams tolerate a lot if you're a winner. And if you're showing up Monday through Saturday and you can't win, it's hard to justify keeping you around.
Yeah. That too, Johnny. How dare you? Just knife right to my back.
If I lost 14 games, I'd be fired before the end of the season. So don't talk to me like that. You wouldn't keep me around. You wouldn't Drew Petsy me till the end of the year.
How would you do it though? Would you know how I felt?
Yeah, I'd be able to tell with your body language. I'd be like, all right, Bo's not making eye contact with me. He's not returning my text messages.
So are we giving Bidwill, if he does pivot, credit as a poker player here?
I think if Michael Bidwill, nobody would give him credit. If Michael Bidwill pivots off Jonathan Gannon and listens to the fan base, you can't take that as anything other than my owner listened to me, and I appreciate that there being light at the end of the tunnel from this season. 100%. I'll come on this show Monday, and I don't applaud when anybody gets terminated. So that's probably the wrong word, but I would like Ozzy says, I would respect Bidwill having to make an incredibly difficult decision for him. Like for the 99% of the fan base, it's not a hard decision, but we don't work with Jonathan Gannon every day. I would hope that this is tearing him apart because he knows what, according to the fan base, is the right thing to do, but he doesn't want to part ways with somebody he respects. It is the most tumultuous time that I've had covering this team in a half decade plus, and nothing compares to this.
There are so many scenarios you could have thrown at me as far as how the 25 season was going to transpire, and this would have been the last thing I would have thought. Just how much cachet Gannon had created for himself going into the season, and for it all to just fall off and go from way in the positive to in the negative, to hit the perception of him as a head coach, and just the really bumpy road that they're going to have ahead by making the decision to bring him back.
We're going to come around the corner. We're going to talk who's out, who's in.
Did we also have maybe a little bit of a bright spot show up? Maybe something that we didn't know existed in the NFL draft potentially last night?
No, we're not allowed to get excited.
No?
Who's out, who's in, draft watch. And we're going to talk Trinidad. Coming up, it's PHNX. How am I prepping for NFL Black Monday? Well, I'm going to be eating my feelings with our friends at Circle K, but I'm not going to be paying premium prices. Again, what do you need to know? Well, they've got the $3, $4, and $5 meal deal. So it's like, okay, I'm going to log in. I'm going to get ready to go ahead of Black Monday with the Breakfast Sammy hash brown 16-ounce monster medium coffee. That's $4. No update on JG. No update on Drew Petsy. I'm going back and I'm doing the $3 meal deal. Hot dog, Tornado, Frito-Lay's chips, Polar Pop up to 44 ounces. Again, I've spent $7. Maybe I don't have an update as I prep for JG's presser and, of course, PHNX Cardinals at 4:30. How about the $5 meal deal? 2 slices of ZA, any 20-ounce Coca-Cola or Pepsi product, and a Polar Pop up to 44 ounces. Again, $5. You can spend your day with Circle K and spend your $12 for your 3 meals. And that's a hearty way of going about it with our friends at Circle K. Join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. That I mentioned, they've got the $1 cookies at the checkout. Perfect for your boy as you drown your sorrows in some news that you may not love. But I'm going to tell you what you are going to love. Buy 2, get 1 free 16-ounce monster. It's going to be a monster of a day. Join us and join Circle K, the Inner Circle now. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com, Bo, for more details.
I love how you're just not about new year, new me. You're just going to continue to be the same guy.
Same me.
Same you. This Cardinals team is the same team we've been watching for the last couple months. Come watch with us one last time. Gila River Resorts and Casinos, 4 casinos, 4 cars, 4 chances to win. 4 cars, what are you talking about? That's right. They're giving away a vet. Look at these beautiful beasts of machines that you can be driving around all over the Valley of the Sun or wherever you want to drive them if you win them. Check them out at the 4 locations: Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, Pequeva, and Santan Mountain. Of course, you can join us on Sunday for our watch party. Of course, we got Ayrton. He's in the house as well. He's with the PHNX Suns crew. They're doing a watch party as well. The next day on Monday, January 5th, we got so many events going on at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You want to be locked in. Also be locked in to all the 4,500 slots. Our guy Britton Golden won big our last watch party. Live table game, sports book. You can catch up on every big moment at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. So whatever your vibe is, you do you. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playathgila.com for all the details.
Who's out? Who's in? We're taking a pulse of the staff, Bo, ahead of Monday. And then we're going to talk a little draft watch. So, Bo, kick us off as you look ahead to what fans can expect as of right now with the Cardinals, post Week 18.
All right, let's take a look at the main coaching staff here. Black Monday predictions, Johnny. Head coach Jonathan Gannon. What do we think? Stays?
Stays.
It's just what things are kind of pointing to. Offensive coordinator Drew Petzing feels like he's coordinating his last game on Sunday. With
Correct.
Gannon staying, our prediction, defensive coordinator Nick Rollis also would stay, continue to work under Jonathan Gannon and try to get this defense back on track, while special teams coordinator Jeff Rogers, longest tenured coach on this staff, he would be gone after a brutal performance on special teams. That's our predictions as far as the main coaching staff. Getting into some key other coaches on our staff. Israel Woolfork, we believe the quarterback coach potentially stays. We also think offensive line coach Jeff Fry, who they just hired this offseason, will stay. While Coach Debo has already reported taking a job with Michigan State. He gone. And then Patrick Toney, your defensive backs coach, looks like he's poised to join Ole Miss potentially and Pete Goulding's staff.
Let's talk a little bit about predictions for the major players. I see people criticizing Rollis and the decision to keep him around. Jonathan Gannon's close with Nick Rollis. It makes sense why he's keeping him. If he himself, Gannon, gets to stay, I think you have to look at it as, and again, this isn't me defending anybody. If Jonathan Gannon gets to stay but has to fire all 3 of his coordinators, what are we even doing here? Like, I mean, you talk about Gannon, Monty getting a mulligan for Kyler Murray. Like, they're getting a mulligan to keep Nick Rollis. Like, Nick Rollis, 2 out of 3 years, defense has been atrocious. Like, we thought 2023 was a byproduct of personnel this year. There's no excuses. Gannon's a defensive head coach. Can he fire a DC? Like, the optics of this are already impossible to swallow. If Jonathan Gannon comes out Monday and says, I'm back, and then the team announces that they've parted ways with all 3 of their coordinators, people are going to, I mean, it's already a laughing stock. I think they view Nick Rollis as the most salvageable of the 3. And Jonathan Gannon, if he can do anything, like he has to get the defense right. I know that
Mhm.
I'm sure that's what he feels, and he's going to give the offense to a veteran. Pretty good idea this next week or so, and he's just going to say take the offense. So I'm not defending it. You guys know how we feel. We'd have a clean sweep. We'd start over with this staff, but I mean, like you have to connect the puzzle pieces here, and the puzzle pieces suggest like Jonathan Gannon courted Nick Rallis to come here. Nick Rallis calls the defense, but Jonathan Gannon's responsible for the defense, and it's terrible. So I don't. To me, that I don't have a huge problem with that if Gannon comes back, because you're already just like you're running the same defense. You're not changing anything.
Right. And if Gannon were to be relieved of his duties, I mean, I would expect, full.
Yeah, everybody would go.
Full facelift on the coaching staff. And I don't expect anybody to be safe at that point. That's obviously coming off of the sense of which we're going. I mean, I don't think it's going with, hey, this is who we think they should bring back. Just trying to predict how we think this is going to play out based on what we've heard and what we're seeing.
Justin, and again, like Israel Wolford and Justin Fry are preferences, I think, of JG. But if they land an OC and the OC's like, I want my own guys, then Jonathan Gannon's going to have to say, bring him in.
And one of the only insiders that has really kind of gone with, hey, Gannon could be out in the desert, Albert Breer, is changed a little bit of what he's predicting as far as the Cardinals are going. I think up until 2 days ago, he was saying that the Cardinals could move off of Gannon. He gave it about a 70% chance. Yeah. Now he's saying more like, hey, there's going to be significant staff changes, but Gannon would get the benefit of the doubt and stay.
He mentioned Jim Bob Cooter as a potential OC favorite. I have not heard that name. Jim Bob Cooter under Shane Steichen, like Steichen's not getting fired. Why would Jim Bob Cooter leave? Or maybe if he gets fired, why would the Cardinals take the Colts like scraps? No offense to Cooter. The Cardinals, unless something goes wrong, which, I mean, you never know with this team, the Cardinals are not targeting Jim Bob Cooter in their S tier of OC candidates.
It's an S tier name.
Yeah. I mean, I love Mr. Cooter, but he was good with Detroit. He's called plays before, but that's Steichen's Nick Rallis. Like Steichen owns that offense, right? So, and it was performing well when they had a quarterback. So that's not the names that we've heard. And I don't think that will be a target.
Yeah.
I think that's Breer again, just trying to connect the dots. Steichen associated with Gannon, Philly. Albert Breer uses a lot of logic. God love him, because there's not a lot of that going around these days.
And that's what he was using all the way up until, maybe later this week as we approach the finale in Black Monday. Maybe he's getting intel that's different than what he was saying just a few days ago.
Man, I just, to land this plane of getting blown out in the finale again, week 18, cementing a top 5 draft pick, 14 losses, and then turning around. I mean, you saw what the Titans did today. I mean, they put out a very classy press release of this is the hierarchy, basically apologizing to the fans. They're going to go through their coaching search. They have a new general manager. It's like, we're trying to get our act together. I mean, I've asked you this 20 times this week, and we're going to do this again, I'm sure, before Monday. What your prediction of what Monday looks like from a Cardinals standpoint? What's the messaging going to be? Who, what, where, and how?
Mum. I think it's going to be mum. And it's going to be Gannon up, just fielding, taking grenades. Just going to be up there at the desk with the microphone, and he's just going to be taking grenades and hopefully be willing to be more transparent about what the next steps are. But, I'm not anticipating it, what we saw today, and albeit you're going into the last game of the season and you're just trying to finish this thing off before you start having to make, the overhaul. But I don't know. Just based on how the last couple of weeks have gone, I can't imagine there's going to be somebody that's going to be up at the podium on Monday and saying, okay, what do you guys want to know?
C-Rob saying nobody asked Gannon the tough questions, Bo, in the chat right here. Why isn't anybody asking Gannon the tough questions? Yeah, why wasn't anybody today grilling Gannon at the Friday presser before the Rams?
I know you're joking.
I am.
I think that Gannon does get asked some tough questions and he just completely shuts them down and diffuses them.
He's a very personable guy off air.
Yeah.
The Cardinals have integrated Jonathan Gannon into how they operate from a presser standpoint. Just let's not give you anything. You can do that if you're the Patriots and you win all.
The only guy that could really own the press room and could say what he wanted to say and did it at a high level was Bruce Arians.
Right.
Everybody else before that, after that, hasn't even come close to what BA did. I mean, Wisenhunt, it wasn't a great press conference. There wasn't a lot of transparency. And I know there's like stories of Denny Green that would say some outlandish things and just recklessly speculate on some injuries, and it didn't help the team. It was like the opposite of what the current team does. But you're not going to get BA, and you can ask all the questions you want. You're going to get the questions are going to get shut down. I mean, there was a question about that Theo Mackey had asked Drew Petzing earlier this week about how he, I guess, set the offense up around Kyler Murray, if he had any regrets about that. Same thing was thrown Gannon's way, and he said he didn't have any, and then was asked why and how come, and he just kind of, I don't. That was the answer. He didn't have, and he didn't expound on it. So, I mean, you can sit there and you can lob as many questions at Gannon or any of these coaches you want. They have the choice to answer them or not, and they choose not to.
So it is a wild way to operate as a franchise that needs buy-in from a fan base. You got to give the fans a win at some point, do you not? Like, if you can't give them a win off the field, on the field, you got to get them a win off the field.
Right.
And I feel like it's just body shot after body shot after, taking one to the chin Monday after Sunday after presser after blowout. And it's like, what am I supposed to latch on to here? Redeemable qualities are few and far between. Like, I flipping love these players. Paris Johnson, James Conner, Trey McBride, Michael Wilson. Like, that's the ironic thing, is that they have, for the first time in a while, a ton of like homegrown talent that you want to latch on to. The Cardinals just, they're getting in the way of that with things that shouldn't be this hard. And that's disappointing.
Right. It's just so against the grain.
Right. And I'm
every way.
I'm telling you right now, I agree with Bo. Maybe you'll get a rap sheet, you'll get an as expected from rap sheet. Jonathan Gannon will be the coach in 2026, while staff changes are among consideration. Strong staff. And again, like, Drew Petzing's contract is up. So, like, will they even use the word fire? I mean, to save face. They kept him around till week 18. They let him have more tape for other franchises. Like, I don't even think, like, if it's in their best interest to make an announcement that they've fired Drew Petzing.
Yeah.
To try to get the fan base like, okay, what? That's something. And then we're aggressively looking for a new OC. They won't do that.
Right. And there's not going to be like a unified front. It's going to be Gannon.
Right.
Like, it's either.
We'll see Monty at the combine.
Yeah. If it's not Gannon, they have to send somebody up to represent the team, and it will be probably the duo potentially of Monty.
What's the chance that we see Monty with Gannon on Monday?
Less than 10%.
Okay. So there's a better chance that we see Bidwill and Monty after a firing than Monty with Gannon.
Right.
Got it.
Both gone, and it'd be just Bidwill.
Monty's not getting fired.
Right.
Man. Quickly here, let's look at the draft implications of this weekend's blowout at Santa Clara. draft schedule. Some bad news. Josh Allen looks like he is going to play because he's got some start track streak going for Buffalo. Okay, can we play Josh Allen for like a possession and then take him out? That we'll see what happens. Jets are a dumpster though. Cardinals are going to take an L, so the furthest that they can drop is right where they're at, 5th overall, so they can't move. Giants this weekend winning against Dallas, something I may or may not have on my parlay. Would that do more harm than good, considering that the Cardinals could be a trade partner with the Giants, or would you rather have the Cardinals have a higher pick? Titans going against the Jags seems like a pipe dream. And then I included the Raiders on here against Kansas City, just because that could shake things up as well. So it's nice. We kicked the Browns off to the side. Goodbye, Browns. And these are the major players for the top 5 picks in the draft.
Not a whole lot of hope, right? But we've seen crazy things happen in the finale, right? Just because it is such a weird week where teams start to rest starters. McVay said he's going to start his starters, but you're like, could they not play the second half? That all remains to be seen. Can you get like a hot Kenny Pickett in the second half against the Chiefs to just ruin their draft stock? Like, wilder things have happened. Like Lovie Smith and the Texans happened just 3 seasons ago.
It was so great.
Yeah, it was. So can you get one of those and then get yourself in a position to maybe get one of the top quarterbacks or one of the top prospects in this draft? Let's talk about that on the other side, our final break. But should Trinidad Chambliss be on your draft radar? Like, how high should he go in your mocks? We'll get into it.
If you notice, all of our ad reads are tailored to how you can prepare for NFL Black Monday and potential uneasy news surrounding your favorite team here in the desert. But I'm going to tell you right now, Pure Edibles is the way to go. Can you be even-keeled? Can you be emotionless? Well, you don't want to do that, but here's what you want to do. You want to get with Pure Edibles. They're founded here in Arizona, 130 dispensaries statewide. They'll keep you on the straight and narrow. They've got sleep support, right? Can't sleep Sunday night after Cards pounding at the hands of the LA Rams. Well, they're going to take care of you with uplifting effects derived from unique cannabinoids such as CBN, CBG, CBD, and marijuana-derived THC. You know exactly what you're getting because it's listed on every tin possible. And again, they've got hard candies, gummies, kicks, their version of Starburst chews, and they're designed to be ripped in half and biting that makes them easily shareable as you dial in your exact dose. And again, you're going to need your dose on Monday, Black Monday, as you're preparing for a rigorous day of announcements. Pure Edibles right now is going to hook you up. Again, 130 dispensaries statewide. They were created in Flagstaff at Noble Herb Dispensary, the home of Pure Edibles. And again, they're now in Arizona. Check them out right now. Find for yourself some Pure Edible products at one of over 130 dispensaries across Arizona. We get asked all the time, on location, in a stream, on a watch along, what's that name of the edible company you guys work with? Of course, it's Pure Edibles.
If you're so enraged on Black Monday and unfortunately blow out all the windows in your home,
yikes.
Let's keep
when that happens.
Let's not do any of that. But look, if you are looking to tackle that home project this 2026, your one-stop shop is Window Depot. Window Depot would never co-sign in something that I just suggested, that type of rage. Let's be better people, and let's do it with Window Depot, serving Arizona since 2002. They started with just windows, and they're way more than just a window store. We're talking about doors, skylights, cabinets, countertops, and sinks, you name it, with tons of inventory in stock and ready to pick up. And if you need something custom, they've got that covered too. Contractors love them for their job site ready quantities, great pricing, and expert service. Well, no memberships required. Homeowners love them because their in-house designers are free and can help you bring your vision to life. Whatever it may be, whatever the project, Window Depot is here for you. Visit windowdepot.com and get started on your next project today.
We're back. Let's take pulse of the room. Trinidad fever. Is it here? Has it arrived, Bo? Your reaction to watching the Ole Miss quarterback vault his way into draft analyst heart last night?
I'll say I've watched Trinidad Chambliss play, I think, maybe 4 or 5 times this season, and I was always curious, like, why is this guy not getting enough love for his skill set? He's obviously a mobile quarterback. He's got a good enough arm, playmaker, right? And you saw that on full display last night, and it was just like, hey, the guy kind of had this arrival, and he went from just complete draft off afterthought to like, hey, this might be the third best quarterback in the draft, depending on if Dante Moore comes out or not. I mean, I think people would probably much more appreciate a Chambliss over a Simpson, especially barring how their Thursdays went. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to see it. I mean, my first thought, like initially, was like, hey, Chambliss, could you trade back into the first round and get him late? But, we'll see how high this guy's stock can rise. But a lot has to be done between now and then. I mean, like at this point last year, we were talking about like Cam Scatteraboo in the first round. Like these CFP performances, they have their initial hit, and then the hype subsides a little bit. The draft process takes on. We learn some things, and then they're properly slotted.
Let me start off with the positives here. It's good to have options. Cardinals need options in this draft. The people who are like poo-pooing this, no, we need him to have juice. As much as we dunked on Ty Simpson, like Ty Simpson, had he played well and looked good, that would have been a good option for the Cardinals. Because guess what? Drake May was the third quarterback drafted. He's going to win the MVP this year. Like CJ Stroud went after Bryce Young. Like it can happen where this works out for you, right? Justin Herbert after Tua, and everybody was like, that's stupid. So number one, Fernando Mendoza is going to be a Raider. Dante Moore, we need him to declare. As much as he looked pretty average, Bo texted me, I agree with this. They don't ask him to do a lot. What's his upside? Does he have the arm strength? I am in on Trinidad from a couple different perspectives if he can check a box from a height standpoint. I am not ready to go under 6 feet with this fan base again with another quarterback. I think that is completely off limits. Fair or not. I think if he is firmly in the 6 foot 6'1" category, then he is fair game. Is that fair to say? If he's under 6 foot, if he goes to the combine and he's 5'11", some whatever, can't do this again.
You sound like some co-ed on a dating app right now. It's
right.
6 feet and above.
That's
as far
right.
as your quarterback.
I love my short kings, and I'm not saying I would dislike the move, but just from a content standpoint, I can't do that again. The Kyler Murray rhetoric with people in his size, and did it hold him back this year? Who knows? But like, if Trinidad, who is a little older, by the way, people were telling me he's got another year of eligibility, he's going to come back. Sure, Jan, he's going to be 24 this fall,
right?
Okay, you think he's going to come back and play for a new coach at Ole Miss next year? And after he's in the college football Final Four and he's got a chance to be a top 10 draft pick and he's going to be 25 next year? Are you insane? He's going to come out, and the question is going to become, what are his measurables? How does he do in the film room? How does he vibe with teams? I'm going to tell you what the Cardinals, I'm sure, especially if Gannon's back, would like. This kid, blue collar, 0-star recruit coming out, worked his ass off, Division II, multi-sport athlete in high school, basketball player, football player, has started a ton of games, just not on the elite level. And, there are a lot of quarterbacks who were late bloomers and were not recruit. I mean, all the stuff that certain people hate about Kyler Murray. Oh, he was anointed and he was a prodigy. Like, this kid's the opposite of that, right? And I could see Gannon and Ossenfort taking a liking to that. So who knows? I know there was a report last week that they like Ty Simpson. This is breaking news for everybody. It's January 2nd. They don't know who they like. We talked to these guys at the combine. Hopefully they continue to speak with us even after this season. They're information fact fighting now. But if Dante Moore and Trinidad come out, that's great news for the Cardinals, who do not have a quarterback for next year.
Right. No, I mean, I think, Chambliss standing next to his big hog-molly offensive lineman, I think he
looks big enough for you.
I think he does. Like when you watch him out there on the playing field, you see somebody that looks like he's big enough to play the position.
Like he belongs. Are you ready to finally say Mendoza's the best quarterback in the class?
No. I like Moore better than Mendoza. I do.
Okay, that's fine. Personal preference.
And people are going to poo-poo. They probably box score.
I want Dante
Moore
Moore to outplay Mendoza next week because then let's have Dante Moore win a national title so he flip and declares. What is this talk about? Dante Moore coming back to school?
It's insane.
What are you talking about?
You've got the boss, the final boss of all boosters, and Phil Knight, Nike at Oregon. But I mean, they can find another quarterback quickly, and then also like Dante Moore. How much more do you need to accomplish? I mean, and especially when does he really want to roll the dice and potentially put himself up against what the 27 class is shaping up to be?
Arch Manning's going to be the first pick next year.
You could fall down. You can go from being 1-2 to outside the top 5 and still have a good season.
It would be stupid. Don't be dumb, Dante. Come out and let's hang out.
It's just like college football fans, even in like the new day and age, like they still have this romantic idea, like, oh, he's going to come back to school. And far often than not, they don't. They go to the draft. They get the guaranteed money. Like Chambliss went from day 3 pick to firmly day 2 to potentially knocking on the door day 1 last night. So we'll see what he does. I mean, as far as
I think he's going to play well against Miami defense. He's got the best pass rusher in college football. Man, this is good, Cardinal fans.
Who else have you liked that you've seen?
From a quarterback standpoint?
No. I mean,
just from the right tackle for Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's better than the kid from Utah. I think he will be the first tackle taken.
But like what Bain was doing against Ohio State. And they produce.
He's the best overall player in this draft.
Yeah.
People keep saying that Reese kid from Ohio State is the best. No, what?
He might be off ball.
They still.
And what's his position? He's going to be edge or he's going to be off ball.
I think people think he's going to play edge.
Yeah.
Bain's the best player in college football.
Right. And the kid from even Bailey for Texas Tech. I mean, that defense, Texas Tech's defense was the only thing that was keeping them in the game yesterday.
He's good. They find Texas Tech. I'll be pro Texas Tech draft picks this year for the first time ever because they're paying players a premium, so we know they're legit.
Yeah.
I didn't want what's his name the year they took Paris. What was that kid's name that busted hard with the Raiders? Tyree Wilson. My God, doesn't matter how much his agent tried to blow smoke at us at the combine. He was going to be good, and the Cardinals liked him. That was the old Texas Tech. Tech. This is safe space now for Texas Tech players. I think Bain is the best player in the draft. Guys, you'll have to help me here. The right tackle for Miami, whatever his name is the best tackle. Those two would be atop my list if you can't get a quarterback. But
would you right now? And I won't use this as
I was about to answer this question, but I want you to pose it.
Would you take Chambliss 5th overall?
If Chambliss goes through if he plays, if he doesn't look terrible next week, goes through the draft process, aces the draft process, aces the medical, aces the physical, and declares, yes, I would take him 5th overall. What are you going to do otherwise? People are, what is the plan, friends? Malik Willis? Hey, Malik Willis, who's hurt again. I know people are saying that's too rich. Guys, Bo Nix went 12th, and we thought he was like a 3rd rounder. I'm going to make a prediction right now. Chambliss, if he fails, it will be because of coaching, and Chambliss, if he succeeds, it will be because of coaching. Like a lot of these guys. That guy, I'm going to tell you right now, Dante Moore, I think you can question his arm strength. Chambliss has a flipping hose. And as much as people have PTSD with Kyler Murray and what's going on right now, Chambliss has got some K1 in him. When running out of the pocket, making people miss. Dante Moore, Chambliss, Mendoza, any of those 3, you feel good about it, make the pick. But again, he could not measure well, and then I could be off of it. I'm not doing the small quarterback again with this fan base. I can't do it. And if his hand size or Kenny Pickett, that we got issues. But you're telling me if everything falls into place, and I love the measurables and I love the person, guys, this team lights draft picks on fire. And you're like, well, this guy could be a 1st rounder. What's the difference between taking a franchise quarterback 5th and 25th? If you don't take him in the top 10, you're not getting him.
He's still got a long way to go to where I'm
100%.
I'm using the 5th overall pick.
Well, yeah, I agree with you.
Look, I love his playmaking ability. I really do, and I would much rather watch that
NFL
style of
defenders
quarterback
for
play than even more. Like Moore is more of a pocket passer guy, but
Moore, it might look like what it's looked like for Cam Ward this year at times. And Cam Ward's more mobile, has a bigger arm, but like if you don't get a competent offensive coordinator come in next year with Moore, it could look really bad. Whereas like Chambliss can come in here and run around and make you fun and exciting right away. I mean, I don't know how many games you're going to win. I'm not doing Jacoby Brissett with Bain, even with Bain. I can't do that, guys. I'm not doing Jacoby Brissett with a top right tackle.
Right. No, I mean, I don't think any of these conversations you and I are having, and hopefully the chat feels similar, like is the future where Brissett has the keys to the offense next year.
It'd be a horrific mistake.
Yeah.
Also, Bone
he's your backup. If he's your guy in that room, like Kurt Warner told us earlier, like that's perfect for Jacoby Brissett. He's going to be in his 11th season. He's been in multiple organizations. Like he knows the ropes. Teach it to the young signal caller.
You are asked if you roll with Jacoby Brissett or see a Tyson Bagent in the chat. You're asking to be in the quarterback market in 2027. You're asking to be trying to get Arch Manning or one of those quarterbacks next year. Inadvertently, because the Cardinals aren't trying to lose games next year.
Yeah.
You've earned through this horrific season a top 3 to 5 pick. If there are 3 quarterbacks that are first round caliber, guess what? You need to take one of them. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Those are the rules. I didn't write them.
I think you did. You guys are absolutely crushing super chats. First super chats are just chat of 2026 has been elite. Let's get into these. We'll start here with how about Gabe? Gabe, not renewing Sunday ticket until JG is gone.
How about it? Michael Bidwill. Those are the kind of things that I think would move the needle. We've heard a bunch of people saying they're canceling their tickets. They've already done it. They're trying to get out of their 2-year contracts. Like, how does that would mortify me? If you're bleeding season ticket holders, and you have the right to do that,
right? And Gabe is saying just Sunday ticket. He must be out of market. Doesn't even want to watch him.
And that's what I mean. You're losing fans that you may not even know that you're losing.
Right. Let's get to Brian P.
Hang on real quick. Let's get Jack put one in before the show started.
Okay. You want to read it? I mean,
no, I want you to read this one.
Okay. Trinidad Chambliss, you are an Arizona Cardinal. Pointing emoji.
Trinidad with Clint Kubiak. You're telling me that wouldn't slap?
Huh? Oh, is the head coach?
Yes. That's juice, baby, Mike.
Yeah.
Michael Bidwill, that's juice.
What about Trinidad and Mike McCarthy?
I'd love it. Flippin' love it. Where's the contract? Sell my soul
with Robert Saleh, but you're going to have to find an offensive guy.
Sign up right now. Hey, I heard a rumor Saleh to the Steelers after they fired Tomlin this weekend. That'd be a good spot for Robert Saleh.
What if he wins?
They're saying he could still get fired if he goes 1 and done in the play. That's nuts.
Yeah. Now we're getting to Brian P. Bidwill is bringing JG back is smart. 26 is a dead year. Top 10 pick in 27. New head coach gets his quarterback from the start. Plus time to develop. # silver lining.
Brian, I'm gonna make a prediction. You're not gonna like it. Number 1, I don't want to tank. No more tanking. Number 2, my prediction. You can put a guarantee on it. This regime, if there are 3 quarterbacks, they're going to take one of them. This regime is not taking a quarterback this year because guess what it does? It gives them more leash. People don't want to hear that. I believe their mindset will be, we're taking a quarterback that we're hitching our wagon to. Give us more patience. What are the chances that they take a quarterback in the top 32 picks, Bo. Give me a percentage.
Probably right as it stands right now.
Yeah.
I would say 40%.
No, it's like 80%, bro.
We got an off season to go here. Gonna see the damn coaches come Monday. Michael Evans, screw them all. I'm still angry.
I think a lot of
every
people
right
are.
to be. Yeah. Ron Mahoney's a new member. Thank you, Ron.
Ron's crushing it in the chat. Welcome, Ron. Appreciate you, my guy. Good to see you.
Terry Cleary, Happy New Year to the best pod in the game. Thank you for always giving the straight talk.
Thank you, T. Cleary, for not unsubscribing because of our show time with Kelvin Beachum. We appreciate you. Appreciate it. We got almost 400 people watching. I thought we were going to lose everybody after we brought on Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee Kelvin Beachum and didn't grill him about why Jonathan Gannon was a terrible head coach. Appreciate that.
Kelvin, what the hell happened this year?
Hey, Kelvin.
What do you mean? I gave back to a lot of great causes. I helped some
Let's
kids.
put big brothers, big sisters aside, and you need the big brother alpha, JG, right now and get in his face.
I don't accept your answer, Kelvin. I disagree.
Click out. Yeah, let's nitpick something we did with Kelvin Beachum so he can promote all the good he does.
Right.
You know, take that and just ignore the 2-hour content that Bo and I do every day on this show where we've been consistent with our messaging and we clip those clips out there.
Chill, boys. They've gotten to you.
They got my W. Cardinals have my W too, baby.
Shane, $9.99. There's no reason to watch him next year. No QB. It's a downgrade regardless of who comes. A head coach who's in over his head and doesn't even hold the staff accountable. A bunch of holes to fill with the team.
Let's see what happens Monday, Shane. Let's check it out.
Shane's back. What OC would even want to come here to call the plays for some trash free agent they bring in? A Hail Mary of a draft pick after all the decent quarterbacks are gone. If you're bringing back JG, then bring back K1.
I don't think they're going to bring in a free agent quarterback. I could be wrong. Maybe they bring back like a backup to Jacoby and then they get their quarterback in the draft. But I'm told that they like a guy, feel like they got a pretty good shot to get him. And we're going to talk more about that next week, assuming Gannon's around.
Yeah.
But like, what do you think? What OC hire would unite the fan base? Not like we love JG again, but like unite the fan base.
Ben Johnson.
Next super chat, please.
How about our guy Desert Vulture? Even Petzing is going to believe the number of offensive coordinators interested in working under JG will be less, not more.
No, I go through the names.
I'm sorry, I read that. I botched that horribly. Even if Petzing is gone, I believe the number of offensive coordinators interested in working under JG will be less, not more.
I do think that of the names that we've talked about, Bo, I mean, I think most people will feel like it's an upgrade, but it's not a savior. It's not a savior.
It's not going to be one of those like where you're going from Petzing, who was an unknown, to another unknown, roll the dice, unproven play caller. Like there's going to be resume. There's going to be.
The only way that happens is if everybody tells them no.
Right.
We could get to that point. We could be sitting here next week and we'll know like how things are going. And if people are looking them in the eye and saying, I don't want to hitch my wagon to this, which is what a lot of people believe, but there are people who believe in Jonathan Gannon's ability to recruit. Then they'll have to pivot and then they'll say this was our favorite guy all along, but it won't be. But we got a long way to go.
You guys continue to crush it. We've got 20 plus super chats remaining. Let's keep it going with Desert Vulture again. At this point, the only money I will have used is for PHNX Sports and the items they sell online. Unfortunately, not spending a cent on this team. We appreciate that.
Desert Vulture, we appreciate you, my guy or gal. Please follow his lead. Become a member down below, please. Click that join button.
One more time, Desert Vulture, proving his point, spending more super chat cash. Being a Cards fan requires a lifetime of patience.
Does indeed.
Our guy Terry's back, member for 3 months. Thank you for that loyal patronage to PHNX Sports. Losing fan base will help decision on JG, but will this be a consistent cycle of disappointment?
Their over-under for wins next year is going to be about 6.5.
Yeah.
So Vegas is going to tell you Jonathan Gannon is going to get fired before he gets fired. Ranger 9427 $10. Thank you so much, Ranger. One of our new favorites. Every reporter and TV analyst that is taking this info from the team about injuries will pick the team to be last next year because they know it is false 100%. And that's why it's disingenuous. I wish the reporters and analysts wouldn't do it because we love their work. I wish the team wouldn't do it. The team just needs to we're too late now. It's January 2nd, but your best interest would be just to not say anything. But like the injury narrative is legitimately one of the worst I've ever seen, given the fact that like this happens to like multiple teams every year. We're like, oh, can you believe how many guys they've had to injury reserve? I don't know. The Niners are going to get the 1 seed. I can't recognize their defense, but whatever.
Right. The ghost of Pat Tilley, generous $20. Bidwills are 3 generations of pathetic failure. Even worse, they don't give an F. Michael Bidwill got the team when his dad passed. Daddy got it from his mommy. Rooney, Hollis, Mara, OG winners. Bidwill's jokes who are billionaires because USA loves the NFL.
He's got a close relationship with Roger Goodell. They put on Super Bowls. Ironically, they do a great job. That's why they keep coming back here. I thought, goes to Pat Tilley, that when he hired Gannon and Ossenfort, it was like an admission of, I need external help, and these people are going to show me what a winning product looks like. And that's why we were so bullish on it. Like, there were so many layers to this hiring because, like, even if you took a small step back, it's like, okay, big picture. This is just not a winning regime right now. And so I'm sure Michael Bidwill is thinking, well, everybody told me to go external and I did, and it's not working out. Like, I need to see this through. But part of knowing what it takes to win is quick to pivot off people too. And you've waited over 50 games.
Schaff, what's going on? Schaff, I think it's time to get Fran Duffy on the show. The diehards are going crazy for Trinidad Chambliss. In the chat, do you think this is now a 3-horse race for the next franchise quarterback? He sure looks good. Fran reached out to me over the holidays. He's coming on the show next week following the release of his first mock draft. So we'll see where he's got Trinidad, and we're going to talk to our guy, our all-city draft expert, Fran Duffy. He's going to be back in the fold on a weekly basis here, talking with us, getting us even more familiar with this draft class.
I looked at Trinidad's like general draft consensus coming into yesterday, like where people thought he would go. And people thought he was like a day 2 third rounder.
Yeah.
So like the climb to like a firm first rounder is not that high. Like Jackson, I think very comparable to Jackson Dart, but I think Trinidad has the juice of being in the Final Four. He's got a rocket strapped to his back.
Shane is back. No one has a feel bad if JG gets fired. He has millions and will get another job in the NFL, just not as a head coach.
1,000%. And Jonathan Gannon would tell you that. This is a cutthroat industry. You're dealing with billionaires and millionaires. Cardinal fans are paying their hard-earned money to watch a product that's terrible. That's where the franchise looks out of touch. 100%.
Yeah, Shane, again, no one on the staff deserves to stay. No one.
Keeping it going.
Keeping it going with yummy microplastics.
Yummy.
Can we give Bidwill a headset and tablet during games? But really, he'll just be watching cartoons while competent professional runs the franchise.
Well, I think he's referring to maybe the new owner of the Colts. And
no, I think he's talking about how some of us operate as parents at dinner out. We just give our kids a headset and a tablet, and then we try to enjoy ourselves with some.
I'm going to be doing that an hour from now. That sounds great. That sounds like a great time.
Kids start making some noise. You just feed them the tablet and say, "Let's pipe down over there."
I would love to see Michael Bidwill Monday, regardless of what decision is made. Come out and talk about this.
Hey, I'm here with you as well.
Come out and I think, like, if you're so committed, come out and speak on it. Because it's not just we're seeing this through. It's why are you doing something that's unprecedented? Explain it to everybody. Try to help people understand. I think that would go a long way, or maybe not, but I would love to see him Monday.
Bonnie Brockable. Is this New Zealand?
Yes.
If Bidwill is letting JG come back, it will be with an experienced OC. He'll keep Rallis, but JG will call defensive plays.
You're making a lot of sense, Bronny. You're doing a lot of your homework. It will be with an experienced OC that may have been a head coach, which is what Gannon should have done 2 years ago. Jonathan Gannon made a huge mistake, obviously hiring Drew Petzing, but not when you're a head coach, you're 40 years old or however old Jonathan Gannon was. Look at what Sean McVay did. He hired Wade Phillips to be his DC. Wade Phillips, who'd been a head coach in Dallas. Kyle Shanahan, bunch of veterans on his staff. It's like they almost took like pride in like, we're going to have this young boyish staff and we're going to build them up. And it's like, no, you're going to get exposed. Yeah. So, but will it be too little too late, Bronny?
Brandon jumping in with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Brandon. If Gannon comes back, if we don't expect him to make it through 26, why not just draft
best available?
Best available, and let the new coach choose his quarterback in the much better 27 quarterback class.
What happens if Gannon wins 6 games next year and gets fired and you're picking 12th or 10th or 9th? Get it. Also, what if you get Trinidad and you win 5 games, but Trinidad looks awesome, and then you can go to teams in January and say, we have a guy, instead of we're going to try to trade up for Arch Manning who don't want to come here. Use that quarterback as a recruiting tool. Why is everybody slobbering all over the Giants? Because they got Jackson Dart like that. I think we're looking at this from the wrong perspective. Get a quarterback. If they fall out, don't put it on the rookie. Say, we got a guy. Titans are saying, we got a guy, Cam Ward. Go do that.
Rangers back. Monty and Bidwill will not show their face Monday. They will let Gannon take all the heat.
Probably. Yep.
It's going to be our future. Keeping it going with Desert Vulture. JG's a nice guy, but the NFC West coaches do not view him as a threat. All the NFL coaches don't.
If you look at our posts, when I posted that he was likely safe, it was fluttered with spam from opposing NFC West teams celebrating, saying Cardinals being the Cardinals, this is great. Chalk it up to 2 wins next year. He has no juice right now. Negative juice.
Mondo, if JG and Pete Carroll are both let go, do we do it?
No, I don't want to see Pete Carroll here.
No, I mean, he's a great coach. He's a Hall of Famer. Just no reason to bring in a 70-year-old coach at this point.
It's over.
Sam went digital. I know you guys have mentioned stuff coming this offseason about Kyler, and I know you guys probably can't say much, but was it an unfixable problem? Was it an unfixable problem?
In terms of like, could they fix it and he could stay around? No.
Yeah.
I think it's more so like you probably like, this is why they're going to keep Gannon. They're going to be Gannon and Monty, and it's unfortunate that Kyler couldn't play, and we're going to go get our guy in this torpedo of the season, but you guys are losing long before Kyler got hurt. I think Kyler Murray's going to be on another franchise. They're going to try to trade him. If they can't, they'll cut him. And
Britta does a great breakdown of what has to happen, what will go into that, but he's pretty confident that that's what the Cardinals are going to try to do. I mean, look, their moves just tell you that's what they're going to try to do. They preserved Kyler Murray for the remainder of the season to set him up to leave the organization this offseason. They wouldn't have done that otherwise. If there was a sliver of a chance he was going to come back, they would have put him back out there on the playing field.
Yep. Shaft $5. Let's try to get a big crowd for the last watch party Sunday at Gila. Love it. Got a chance to meet other members that you chat with every day. We're going to be at Gila Bowl.
That's right. Come and join us. The final watch party of the season. Watch alongs there as well. Don't let that stop you from getting out there, hanging out with Shaft, hanging out with some great people. Ryan's out there. So many people. We met. Wendy came out. Who else did we meet recently? Ron was out there. He introduced himself. So many different great people. Was it Lish? You introduced us to us. Her and her daughter loves the podcast. It was great to meet everybody out there. Love to meet more people before, of course, a big, huge event like our draft party. Iron Will, $10. I see one of the three options at quarterback. Trade up to 1 or 2, get Mendoza or more, get rid of K1, get Burrow or get rid of K1 as well, and then start K1 in 26 and get Jeremiah Love with the first pick and replace Connor. What do you think about that, John?
I don't think any of those quarterbacks are going to be available for the Cardinals. I would love Mendoza. Maybe Moore. I'm sorry, Iron Will. Moore's an option for this team. Dante Moore's an option. Mendoza's going first overall with Tom Brady and the Raiders. Burrow's not available. Like, does Lamar Jackson become available? Maybe. Like, we'll see how the layers kind of progress here, but I've heard the Cardinals' preference is to get a rookie this year. So maybe the Cardinals trade up for one of those guys, but Mendoza's not for sale.
Galactic Gridiron. Do we seriously think Monty will make a solid pick? In my opinion, I think he overthinks picks. Give the house for Burrow.
Burrow's not available. Bengals are playing well. They're going to try to run it back. Everybody will be retained. It's a very conservative franchise. I mean, I love the Darius and Marv picks. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, I knew that those picks wouldn't pan out or they haven't panned out to this point. I love the Walter Nolan pick. I could sit here and tell you that I hated, Hassan Reddick, even though that worked out for Keim, and I hated Isaiah Simmons and Zaven Collins. I thought that was a reach. I've got the Twitter receipts to prove it. Like, I didn't like those picks, right? I've liked all of Monty's picks, and I've been wrong on a lot of them, at least up until this point. So the lack of aggressiveness, Bo, the trade downs, passing on Cooper DeJean and doing all like this gymnastics to get more picks, and what are you really left with? I think that you can definitely criticize that. When is he going to get aggressive to get up? I think this is the offseason to do it.
He's done it before. He traded down, but then to get back up, he got Paris Johnson Jr., which has been a hit.
Yeah. I'm
not ready to give up on Marv just yet. And he didn't overthink that. He actually just went chalk and took the best non-quarterback available.
It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of people have been wrong on Marv so far, and it's his opportunity next season to change that perception. FS or F Simple, start K1 in 26, get Jeremiah Love with the first pick and replace Connor.
I would love Jeremiah Love, just not with a first round pick. But I watched Bijan the other night. That was flipping awesome. Like, I want that.
Yeah.
I think the Cardinals are going to
love in this room right now. Still 10 super chats to get through. You guys are unbelievable. How about Toby? Do you risk selecting a quarterback in the second round in favor of a right tackle? That's
not
a philosophy that a lot of people want to see deployed come April.
Who's available at quarterback in the second round this year? You and me?
Maybe Trinidad Chambliss. Maybe
no chance.
Garrett Nussmeier.
Oh my God.
Who else could there be?
Garrett Nussmeier, if he's the pick for the Cardinals, they won't win a game next year. They'll continue this. They'll go winless next year. Garrett Nussmeier, and you could draft flipping Reggie White 5th overall, and the Cardinals are winning one or two games next year.
Yeah. Terry Cleary jumping back in. Beach is a class act. Wish we could all just get along.
That interview, they had set that up a couple weeks in advance, and we were like, oh yeah, we're going to do this with Beach today, and Bo coordinated it, and it's just like, it's tough timing. We're going to drop this, and not the best time to show a positive video amongst the fans. Rightfully so.
Nobody has an appetite for it. I get that. Nobody wants to talk about, Michael Wilson potentially getting to 1,000. It's all garbage time. And, Trey McBride, this and that. People just don't want to have anything positive about this team after this season. And I get that to a certain extent, to a big extent. Keith Davis. Thank you, Keith. $10. How does JG have any credibility if they fire both his coordinators? If the Cards do so, isn't that signaling that JG isn't really in charge?
Well, that's why they're not firing Rollis. 100%, Keith. But Jeff Ross, Jeff Rogers wasn't his guy. I thought Jeff's done a nice job. This year's been bad. I honestly think of all the
This year's
coordinators,
been really bad. If you look
Yeah.
at the metrics on special teams.
but here's what I'll say: of
down.
all the people that have been hurt by injuries, like Jeff Rogers gets what's left over from the offense and defense, missing guys. So I probably can make a better case for Jeff than I could for Drew and Nick because I've seen Jeff perform at a high level before. I mean, Drew Petzing's never orchestrated a high-level offense. And now without Clayton Adams, it's been a disaster. But Keith, it would be hilarious. They were just like, no coaches are returning but Gannon. We're just going to remake this coaching staff, hire 20 new guys. People would be like, what?
Will Smith in the finale of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, standing there, empty room.
We'll have that meme ready if they do that.
Evan Bourdreau, Cardinals helmet sinking in the quicksand is perfect. Is that our logo?
Yeah.
In the bottom right corner? Yeah. It's probably why Johnny have I witnessed 19 wins combined since doing the show together.
This was supposed to be different. I like this one. Let Bob, $2. Let Bob just coming in here, just letting everybody know, 16-year season ticket holder, I'm done. No more pain. And that's the kind of thing. Does that get Michael Bidwill's attention? Are there enough Bobs out there that have canceled within the last several weeks and would cancel post Monday for them to be like, uh-oh? Maybe. I know the Cardinals, Bob, know that the season tickets are down.
Yeah.
How could they not?
Right. Our guy Lamar Washington, I think he's got an Ironman streak of doing a super chat to this show. We appreciate that. $5. There's a rumbling Kyler could return if JG is fired.
I think
that was in that report.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know who. I'm not going to go against who the source was or what it was, but if JG and Monty are gone, like who's in that building and who's going to have any say that Kyler's going to come back? But I know one key figure in all of this is standing in the way of Kyler being a part of this organization. He's not going anywhere.
Michael Bidwill wants to keep his new regime around.
Yeah.
And Kyler's he's gone.
So, I don't know like why you would even provide that type of speculation. I guess like you just because anything's possible.
Yeah. I think that no comment. T Votto, $2. When's the JV PHNX and Fire Gannon billboard going up? I don't have that kind of cash.
It's a billboard run these days.
Yeah. I don't know. Gotta be a couple grand, right?
Yeah. We can get Espo to sign off on it.
That'd be a lot for Gannon. I mean, that would be what if you drove down 347 and there's just a Gannon.
We couldn't afford 347. No. I mean, we're not going to have prime real estate for wherever we're going to buy it. Ours would be like in a dark corner somewhere.
Needs to be my old drive from Maricopa. I would
it's gonna
put
get
it out there in like
it.
a mountain, like tucked away, crooked, and it just says "Fire JG."
Have you guys seen our billboard? No, we nobody goes to that part of town. That's why you guys can afford it.
It exists. That's where like people are gonna call me Shill Johnny. Like that's where I would feel bad.
I agree. I'm
like
just
Gannon's kids seeing that and stuff. That'd be rough. That doesn't mean he should keep his job, but you would think, T Votto, that being 21 games under 500 would not require a billboard, but here we are.
Iron Will is going to bring us home here and into the weekend to the finale. I think if Petzing remains, so many fans are gone.
He's done. I know a lot of people, and I know the trust is fleeting right now. Drew Petzing's done after this weekend. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's embarrassing that he's coaching this weekend. They should have let Drew Terrell call a game or two. They should have let Israel Wolfer call a game or two. But that should tell you guys, not to end the show on a dark note, but like Gannon has been enabled with the staff and just made so many mistakes with keeping certain people and costing him wins. And they let him do that up until the final week of the season with no pushback. What do you think he's getting fired Monday? Petzing's gone. And if I had to guess now, Bo, they're going to do it so low profile and drop it on a Friday, non-renewed his contract. It's not going to be fire and brimstone because he cares about him as a human being. And I understand that as a human being, but it's not good for business.
Right. No, if it's high profile, it would probably hinder his chances of getting another job. And that's the last thing that Gannon wants to do for Petzing. But, as Ozzy's pointing out here, I mean, his contract is up. Like, if you're bringing back Petzing, you're signing him into a new deal. It's just not
zero chance.
Yeah.
He's not, whether Gannon's back or not. Drew Petzing will be either with Kevin Stefanski next year in the Browns, if Kevin's back, or whatever team Kevin Stefanski is coordinating next year as the OC. Petzing will be on that staff. QB, running back, tight end. That's where he'll be.
We will get to talk to you guys between now and Monday. Yeah, we got our full pregame, watch along, halftime show, post-game show, your full complement of PHNX Cardinals coverage of the Arizona Cardinals one last time in the 2025 season. That's going down this Sunday. We're going to be live as Schaff asked for, requested. I'm with them. Let's do it. Let's get together, hang out, do the watch along together. We probably, we'll get out, get a full sense of everybody in the audience there. What do we got from Juarez?
Yeah. Is there any chance, Bo, that we all eat crow? Is there any precedent of a dumpster fire team turning things around in an offseason?
Yeah. There is. They're against stacked odds. And they're about bucking some major trends, no doubt about it. But I would love to be wrong. I would love for the entire fan base to be wrong. I mean, that would be an incredible story comeback that, at the end of the day, everybody would appreciate the long road traveled and the journey. But, just trying to follow this thing and seeing the red flags, I think that's just where the fan base is just like, I'm concerned that this is just going to lead to a longer stretch of losing. No success and losing. Yes.
I think Juarez, for that to happen, they would have to hit on a quarterback this offseason to save everybody. I mean, look at Dan Quinn this year. He can't win without Jaden Daniels. He was in the NFC Championship game last year. They hit on a quarterback, all bets are off.
What's this Classy Nasky saying? PHNX fans' New Year's resolution should be holding Bo and JV accountable.
Wow.
What do we think about that?
Wow. Listen, times are tough. Hold us accountable for what? All I do is rip this team for 2 hours every day. You want me to be more positive? I'd love a clarification. It has been the worst season I've ever had covering this team or as a fan of this team, and we've ripped them to shreds for 2 months. Every short or reel I have on my social media is just like, this is a nightmare. Everyone who's getting fired and people accountability, guys.
Classy's just dropped a laughing emoji. I think he was just messing around.
One of the best. We appreciate everybody here. Hit that like button. We're not going anywhere.
No.
You guys aren't going anywhere. And we got a hell of a weekend coming up with Black Monday en route. And we're going to be covering it top to bottom. Emergency pods and all. Hit that like button. Subscribe to PHNX Sports. Oh, and by the way, we're going to know where the Cardinals are going to be at the end of the night on Sunday ahead of the 2026 NFL draft. So that's exciting, Bo.
Yeah. Killer Rex wondering if I'm going to miss my lunches with some of the coaching staff.
Yeah. I remember those fondly. It's you, Petzing. Gardeck used to have a seat. Dumakaji used to have a seat. Yeah.
That's right.
The old boys club.
You never know. You wish you knew you were in like the
good times.
The good times.
Now you're going to be out in your truck eating a Lunchable with Donnie Druin. That's where you're going to be.
That would be an honor to be with Donnie Donuts, just sharing, breaking some bread, breaking some crackers in my truck. Look, we'll get to that point if we reach that low point when we get there. But in the meantime, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Sunday right here, PHNX Cardinals.
We all silly like the mayor.